So as we've been saying all week, we are putting a spotlight on school safety. What do we know works to keep schools safe, and who's doing it? Because every school district has different strategies and a different budget. You're going to hear from some of the key people involved in this: school leaders, state leaders, students, and more. And we, of course, want you to be part of the discussion. Send us an email, indepth@WRAL.com. We'll bring some of your questions and your feedback into the conversation later this week. I want to start with some good news. Weapons offenses in North Carolina schools have been going down since the early aughts. Last year, our state saw a 20-year low of weapons-related offenses, 1,875 offenses in the 2024-2025 school year. That's down from 2,378 offenses the previous year. And there are a number of possible reasons for this. But if we look at the data, the stuff we can track, we know that one thing is at least helping keep guns out of schools: weapons detection systems. To date, at least 19 school districts in North Carolina use them. Person County Schools is one of them. And since installing them 3 years ago, they have seen fewer weapons in schools, from 15 offenses during the 2022-2023 school year to 2 offenses during the 2024-2025 school year. The guy who oversees school safety in Person County says these weapons detection systems are a deterrent.
The technology's use of our tablets and our imaging systems, where we're able to see what could be a potential threat, that high success rate has deterred future events from occurring.
The first district in the state to get these systems was Charlotte-Mecklenburg County Schools. WRAL Investigates looked at 3 years of data and the specific schools that prompted the increased security there. And get this, in December of 2021, shots were fired at West Charlotte High School in a fight over a backpack. State data shows that year 8 firearms offenses occurred at West Charlotte High School. But that next semester, West Charlotte and 6 other high schools in the Charlotte area got Evolve weapons detectors. In the 3 years since, those same 7 schools combined have only discovered 6 guns. That's an 80% drop. But we know weapons detection systems are not perfect. Schools set the sensitivity level on them. So too sensitive, they flag harmless stuff. Not sensitive enough, they could miss things. Students we've interviewed say they have heard about long lines at school entrances. And then there's the question of who's in charge of the systems, right? School staff, school resource officers. It's a lot to manage. And then, of course, there's the cost. Charlotte-Mecklenburg spent about $15 million when they started things up. All of that is why the head of Wake County Schools, the largest district in the state, says he's not interested in weapons detectors. Superintendent Robert Taylor spent a good amount of time making his case when WRAL's Destiny Patterson pressed him about it. This was shortly after 2 schools were put on lockdown on the same day, back in February. A parent was charged after an 11-year-old student tried to bring a machete inside East Garner Elementary. That same day at Millbrook High School, an 18-year-old student was arrested for bringing a loaded gun on campus, sending the school into code red lockdown. He pleaded guilty to that just last week, by the way. School officials at the time said they found out about that loaded gun at Millbrook because someone reported it in the Say Something app. Students and staff can download this app and report safety concerns. Superintendent Taylor says the app is more effective than weapons detection systems. Here's part of his conversation with Destiny Patterson.
When you deploy a weapons detection system, they change the nature of how you get into buildings, the amount of time that's needed to come in, the number of staff that are needed in order to deploy those things. And so we know that there are a number of gaps that still exist in weapons detection system. And so we don't want to go out and invest a huge amount of money. We're talking $20 or $30 million and still not be able to provide the security that people believe we have. And so we want to continue to engage in those things that are going to keep kids safe and keep those numbers low. And so what I would ask people to do is to compare the statistics of the largest district in the state and the 14th largest in the nation and identify where we compare with other districts and their statistics, and they're going to see that we're very safe.
All right, let's do that. Let's compare the stats like Robert Taylor encouraged us to do. Our WRAL education insider, Emily Walkenhorst, looked at the data. The results are pretty nuanced.
So the number of offenses for weapons possession has gone down in Wake County, just like in most every other district in North Carolina. But in Wake, they haven't gone down as dramatically as they have in other school districts, including school districts with weapons detectors.
All right, so we've looked at the data, we've heard from the school districts. Now let's hear from school resource officers, the people whose job it is to respond to these emergencies. The head of the National Association of School Resource Officers shared some important insight. He says weapons detection systems can be effective tools, but they depend on two key ingredients: proper management and proper messaging.
Really does come down to the policy and procedures that the school puts in place and what the expectations are for the SRO.
The SROs don't want to become TSA agents stationed outside schools, standing there every morning and afternoon. They've got a lot of other responsibilities. And oh, by the way, they don't want these detectors to create unwanted tension in the school community that could wind up making their job harder, right? They're trying to foster trust with the students. Speaking of students, let's bring in their voice because they're who this is all about. We pulled 5 Wake County students together to get their take. The thing they said they wanted more than anything else was better preparation for threatening situations and better communication. What needs to be improved upon, in your opinion, to make you feel safer at school?
When I was in a real code red situation, there was so much, we had no clue what was happening. And luckily in that case, it was a threat that was like on campus but outside of the building. But there was no way for us to know that for sure. And we're all texting with our parents who are hearing different things. And it's these rumors that start spreading that kind of heighten the situation. I think better communication would for sure make me feel safer.
I feel like just emphasizing even more how dangerous and serious these situations can be. Students are not taking this matter seriously enough, and of course it's like partially our fault, but it's partially also not our fault because our schools need to emphasize more how dangerous this will be. They need to keep us informed about what's going on, just like Paige said.
Do you talk about, our school should do something else about it? It means other kids weigh in on weapons detectors or other things like that?
I feel like weapon detection stuff, that would be like an inconvenience to like students' lives, and like it would disrupt like normal life for them. Because obviously if you're going to school, a place to learn, and you just see this metal detector, like that's gonna like put fear in you.
We have that full conversation with the very impressive students over on the WRAL YouTube page, and we're going to share more from them all this week. But there's another tool being used to keep our kids safe that we haven't brought up yet. They're called behavioral threat assessments. It's a way schools can identify and assess and manage potential threats. We'll dive into that part of the story tomorrow. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. In-depth at WRAL.com. What do you think about weapons detection systems in schools? Do you want them in your child's school? Do you have a problem with them? Does your child have them in their school? Like I said, we're going to respond to a bunch of your emails on this topic later this week. Guys?
All right, Ashley.